Hi. In previous chapters, we have seen that what is unsupervised learning. After that, we have went with that some type of the unsupervised learning and mm, what are algorithms that are working behind it. In that, in clustering type, unsupervised learning, there are the basically five type of the algorithms. In that we have seen previously two algorithms in detail with the numerical example like K-mean clustering, and second one is hierarchical clustering. And today we are going in this section we are going to discuss with the another the, the another clustering algorithm that is density based clustering. It is also called as the DBSCAN. So this is a powerful clustering algorithm that group data points based on the density. Means whatever the data are close, very close, we will group together, and whichever data is out of very far, so we will say that as a outlier or error points of that data. So there are the basically three concepts for that DB-scan clustering. First one is the core point, border point, and noise point. Noise points, the very far away data, which is uh, not belonging to the any cluster. And core point, core point is nothing, but it is it is a data point. This is a data point which have the at least specific number of the neighbors called as the midpoint and midpoints with the given radius. And border point are that points within the radius but of a core point. It is a border point is a radius of the core point but have a fewer than m points neighbor themselves. So core points, for saying something to the core point, like see in this chapter, by something to the core point, there should be the minimum number of m points should be there, so we can call as it is as a core point. So see, in this radius we are within the radius for this cluster we are having 4 points, so these points are the 4 points. For the same is going to working with this. For the this cluster we are having five 5 points, so these are the 4 points. And this is the boundary points because it is not having 4 points, it is having only 3 points near to it within the radius. Okay, so it is the border point. Same goes with this one. And this one is the outlier because there is no data no data points rather than alone itself, right? So these are the some parameters for the DV scan. Epsilon is the nothing, this is the radius radius means the specific radius in which data will be. Suppose epsilon e is nothing but is a radius point. Like see, if I have this value, this as epsilon e, initialized as the e, so we have the data points value P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, 1.2, 1.5, 2, 3, 5, 8, 10. So for this epsilon value, we are going to define that what are the nearest data points for this one. So closest points for P2, P2, P1, and P3. We can see that. So we will cluster define a density like this: P1, P2, and P3. This will be going to be in one cluster. Okay, and now m points. Then the minimum number of data points required with the epsilon radius define the core point. So here we can say if we define m point as 3, so P1, P2, and P3 will be the core point. Core point, right? Now see, now can we see that we already have seen that how we are going to going to form a cluster formation. We already have seen by this example. So here it says clearly say it start with the arbitrary data point and checks how many points fall within the its Gaussian neighborhood. It is a number of neighbor is greater than or equal to the m point. It is the core point and it's from a cluster form. See, like here we have defined m as 3. So p1 p1 p2 p3 are the core points and it is a cluster, right? Now in next step the algorithm will accurately expand the cluster by including directly density reachable point and their neighborhood. If a point is not directly reachable from any core point, it is labeled as the noise or outliers. So by this we are going to uh, and density connected points with the cluster are density connected means there is a chain or reachable points from one point to the another point. We can see in diagram here. See, density points that each points are connected to the by some edges. Okay, and this is the outlier because it is not belonging to the any cluster, right? Thank you.